Okay, welcome to Lesson 60. Today we're going to talk all about circles. Welcome to Lesson 60. I believe, I'm just double checking, you're almost halfway through your book, so doing an excellent job. Let me draw a few circles so we have something to talk about. If you're ever super bored, you can practice drawing circles because it's actually harder than you think. My circles are kind of lopsided. So, 3 terms to be aware of. If you draw a line from the middle of a circle to any point on the edge of a circle, it's called a radius. If you draw a line from any point on the edge of a circle to any other point on the other side of the circle, or maybe even really close by, that's called a chord. As long as it touches at 2 points on the border, it's called a chord. And lastly, if there's a chord that goes directly through the middle of the circle, it's called the diameter. In other words, the diameter cuts that circle perfectly in half. A radius is from the middle to the outside, and a chord can be from just any 2 random points on the edge of that circle. Now, one last word that you need to be aware of is circumference. Circumference is the border of the circle. And now, people have been studying circles for a long time. Let me see if I can draw a big circle. And it turns out that a diameter, so this length right here, pretend this is a wheel and this is a piece of string. Even back in ancient times, people learned that if you took the length of this diameter, so you cut this piece of string, it would take 1, 2, 3, and a little bit more of these diameters to go all the way around the circle. In other words, the circumference was a little bit more than 3 times the length of the diameter. And that's why, to calculate the circumference, you take the diameter and you multiply it by a special number called pi, which we draw like this. Now, pi stands for 3.141592 6. It actually keeps going on and on and on. So most of the time for your age, I would just round this number to 3.14. There might be a point where you need to go into more decimals, but if you just think in your head pi equals 3.14, that should probably do you just fine. And what does that mean? It means that the circumference, the border of a circle, is equal to 3 of those diameters plus a little bit more. And that's why it's not just 3, it's 3.14. So let's say that our diameter was 4 meters. Well, our circumference would be 4 times pi. 4 times 3.14 would equal 12 point something. I won't take time to actually calculate that, but that's how you would do it. So we've talked about a radius, a chord, diameter, circumference, and the last thing I need to talk to you about is area. How would you calculate the area of the circle? Let's say you wanted to make a circle house and you're trying to decide how much carpet you need. Well, there's also a formula for that. So this is the formula for the circumference. The area is calculated by taking the radius. What's a radius? Oh yeah, it's the distance from the center to the outside. So from here to here. And here's a question for you. If the diameter in this circle is 4 meters, so from all the way over here to all the way over here, what would half of that be? What would half of that 4 meters be? Well, it would be 2 meters. So this half would be 2 meters, and this half would be 2 meters. So if you know the length of the diameter, you also know the length of the radius because you just divide it in half. But back to our area of a circle. You calculate the area of a circle by taking the radius, making that square, and then multiplying that by pi. So let's try this. What would the area of our circle be? Well, we would have 2 squared times pi. So 2 squared would be 4 and times pi. So again, you would get about 12 point something something something, and we'll calculate that today. But these formulas are very helpful and very important because we're going to talk a lot more about circles. So what do you need to remember from today? You just need to remember these terms. What's a radius? What's a diameter? Remember, a radius will always be half the length of a diameter. A chord is simply a line between 2 points on the edge of a circle. Circumference means the distance around a circle, and the area means what is this the area in between that border. And then these are the two formulas. I would try to memorize these two formulas here because those will be very important for the future. All right, this has been Lesson 60. Let me know if you have any question about circles.